Hello, fellow gamers. My name is Brent Justice, and welcome to my gaming channel, Justice Gaming. In this new video series that I am starting, I am going to be replying to viewer feedback on my Cyberpunk 2077 gameplay Let's Play videos. So I have been uploading a series of gameplay videos in Cyberpunk 2077, playing the game for the first time. At this point, I have 7 videos published. As you can see on the screen, I am going to reply to viewer feedback in each video. That's right, I am going to go through all of the comments that you all have been leaving me and respond to the feedback. First, I want to say a big thank you for leaving your feedback, leaving your comments. I have been asking for it, and you all have been doing an incredible job leaving me feedback on the gameplay, on the mechanics, and it has just really helped me learn a lot about this game, because I will say this game does have a very big learning curve. There is a lot to learn in the game. There are a lot of things in the game and a lot of things to learn. And yeah, that's taken me a bit of time to get into. Now, like 7 hours later or more, I think I'm finally starting to understand it a little bit. So it is in great part thanks to you all leaving your comments. And I do appreciate no spoilers as well. That has been great. I haven't read any spoilers, and that has been exciting because there have been some interesting developments that I was not expecting in the game. And I'm glad that I learned those as I played the game instead of reading about them. So thank you for that. Thank you for leaving your comments. I have replied to most of these comments on YouTube. However, I did want to make this video, and this will be a continuing series where I will upload a series of more videos and then respond to those comments, and on and on and on as the game goes on. So that's what I want to do today. I'm going to go over all that and just give you some of my thoughts on those things in a more detailed way, because I have left comments in response to those comments, but this allows me to talk about them more and to give you more of my thoughts and opinions on each thing, and to also let you know that I am reading them and that I am learning from them and what I have learned. And then at the end of this video, I'm going to go into the game, show you some of the updates that I have done, from learning about all this, just a little bit, because I've already done a lot of that in the last video, but just a little bit, some updates like with my perks and so forth that I've done. But that's going to be the format of this video. I'm going to go through each video, read the comments, respond to the comments, and then at the end, go into the game, show you a few updates, and that's it. And this will be a continuing series that I will do as I upload maybe between 5 and 10 videos, and then I do a Q&A session like that, and then more and more, and we'll just keep going from there. But yes, this is all for my full game Let's Play of Cyberpunk 2077, which I am playing for the very first time and learning as I go. So let's begin with video part 1, which was the introductory video that I put up, the very first video for this Let's Play series. Why did I wait so long 5 years later? And yes, it has been that long since the game was launched, and I am now playing it for the first time. So, first comment, welcome to Night City. It's okay you waited, it's in the best state now. And to that I say absolutely. I am very much aware that this game had a very bad launch. It was slow on console, it was slow on PC, it had terrible graphical issues where it looked like a potato. You were playing on a potato computer or console. It had bugs galore, just bugs, and it felt incomplete. It had a lot of holes in it where it just didn't feel like a full finished game. So I'm aware of that trouble it had. Along the way, CD Projekt Red did release many patches in the game, and they even got to a point where they said they weren't going to release any more updates for the game. I remember that announcement. But then, lo and behold, they had more updates. In fact, not just more patches, they even had the DLC Phantom Liberty released. And Phantom Liberty had a huge update for the game and brought a lot more gameplay and made the game feel more whole and finished. And I have heard a lot of good things about Phantom Liberty. So I can't wait to get into that portion of the game for me when I get there. So yeah, it's had a lot of updates along the way, and so waiting this long, I now get to play it in a finished state. Well, I should say mostly finished, because it's probably still not as full as the developers really intended. For example, I think they had intended for like a full monorail system that you could travel in the game. Like you could stop at each building and go inside. And I don't know, it's supposed to be like really complex, and I don't know if it's to that extent yet, but they had intended even bigger, I think. Now they achieved some of that with the patches, but maybe not as much as they had intended. But it's still in a lot better state now. It's in a finished state, and I can enjoy it with a lot less bugs. I think there are still bugs, but at least a lot less bugs. And I also get to enjoy the Phantom Liberty DLC. Other updates that have come to the game that have also been enjoyable have been the graphical updates. They have released path tracing in the game. This was not part of the original game. Ray tracing was, but not path tracing. So it has a full path tracing render to it, and that is very unique. It's extremely hard on hardware, but it's really unique to have that level of lighting and shadows and reflections in the game, and it kind of brings it to a whole new level. In addition, new DLSS features as well, like ray reconstruction. Of course, we've had GeForce RTX updates along the way, like the transformer model for upscaling and that sort of thing. And AMD has also had FSR 4 implemented ML upscaling in the game as well. So there's been a lot of updates that have come to the game that have helped it graphically, and so that allows me to have a better experience now as well. The one thing that has not really been updated, which I would have loved to have seen for the game, would have been an official high quality texture pack for the game. I know that there are mods I can install from Nexus Mods and that sort of thing, but I want an official high-res texture pack, because I think that's one of the low points of the game, is some of the textures are a little low quality. Even though the lighting's good, the textures are a little low quality, and that's just the nature of the game being older by now. It could use a high texture pack update. I would love to have seen that. It didn't get one, probably never will, and we'll have to rely on third-party mods for that. But anyway, I'm getting to play the game in a much better finished state now. So yeah, I wanted to spend a little bit of time on that topic specifically, because that is a big part of my playthrough now that I'm enjoying. You waiting until now means we can now watch you play it for the first time. So yeah, this is my first time playthrough, and I'm sure many of y'all have probably played the game several times, and you have that unique experience. I've got a unique experience because I've never played it before, so I get to experience. This comment, this is my office. I'll have to remember to come back here. Yeah, never did end up going. So I went the Corpo route, in case you didn't know. I went the Corpo route. I did enjoy doing that. I'm glad I went that route for my first playthrough. I'm enjoying those secondary options you get, where you can do like Corpo speech. You can like respond with a Corpo dialogue option. I'm enjoying that. So I'm glad I went that route. But yes, obviously that means I never got to go back to my office. So I was kicked out. But I do wonder if we ever get our rank back or get to rise and level again, do you think we'll ever get to go back to Arasaka and go to our old office? Maybe it's still waiting for me. Maybe, just maybe, that whatever that thing I wanted to get in the office drawer was, maybe I'll actually be able to get it in the future. That's my guess. So yeah, thank you for that comment. That was funny. I started Corpo and never regretted it. You get some of the best dialogue lines, and I think it fits the character throughout the game and eventually into Phantom Liberty. It makes a great path to pick, and I agree. That's what I'm really liking, is the dialogue lines are really, really top-notch in that one. So I guess you don't get those in the other styles, but in that one you do. I've been watching your videos on Stowe forever, but you're gonna love the game. Coming from an old timer who used to play the pen and paper. Have fun. Well, thank you very much. Thank you for that comment, and thank you for watching my Stowe videos as well. Star Trek Online, a staple on this channel. I kind of started it with Star Trek Online. I will say, though, I do have other gameplays on this channel as well, and I want this to be a general gameplay channel. But I will continue to make Star Trek Online videos forever, because that is my go-to game when I just want to, relax for the day. I run Star Trek Online, and I just, have fun in that game as well. So that will continue to be a staple. Why did you wait so long? Because simply it was worth the wait. And I agree. This is one of those games where it is worth the wait. But I do feel like there's a lot of games actually that I've played that are worth the wait. I never feel rushed into playing a new game. If a new game is launched, I don't feel like I need to play it immediately. Because number one, it's going to have bug fixes, and I want those bug fixes before I play. Or updates, or performance updates, or new content, or DLCs. I never really feel rushed to play a game. I like to wait until it's a little more polished to play it. I am not one who does pre-orders on games, unless I know I'm already going to play it. But I don't do a pre-order so that I can play it the night that it releases. I don't do that. If I do a pre-order, it's because I was already going to play the game anyway at some point in the future, and I'm just ordering it sooner, but I might wait a year to play it. That's okay. And I do that with a lot of games. In fact, with the Horizon series, I waited a long time to play those games. Part of that was because they were not released on PC yet. They came to console first, obviously, and I want to play on PC, but I don't even own a console. Y'all might not know that. I don't own a console. I don't have a PS4, PS5. I don't have anything. I don't have a Xbox. Who really has an Xbox? I don't have any of that, though. So I have to wait for the PC anyway, but I prefer to play it on PC. And I obviously waited a long time to play those games, Horizon Zero Dawn and then Forbidden West. And I enjoyed them, years after the fact. So yes, I will wait. Welcome to Night City. Have fun exploring the crazy stories and lore. Thank you. I will. I'm looking forward to your gameplay. Sounds like you're taking a very intelligent run at the game. You can change your difficulty level at any time during the game. If you have ever played an FPS game, you won't find normal much of a challenge. The music in the game, so first of all, thank you for this very lengthy post. I do appreciate it. The music in the game is permitted on YouTube. You may get a notice that copyright music is being used, but you won't get a strike. Likewise, the nudity in the game passes muster on YouTube as you don't dwell on it excessively. There are funny things that will be hidden from you, however, since I have it turned off. Note that you can replay the initial tutorial during the game. There are mechanics in there that it's possible to forget with all the distractions of Night City, particularly solving the hacking matrix puzzles. Facecam is well placed. It won't hide much. I use the background remover to tone that down. And here's a few general tips. Loot everything. It has a use in the game. Explore your inventory menus and submenus. There's a lot of important information and capabilities contained in there. Exploration is good. Don't rush into the story missions too quickly. You can take a day or two or more between each step. Although the various dialogues will encourage you to rush, you can do each mission at your leisure. Just don't break off in the middle of a quest or mission, as tragedy may occur. You will be able to add to your attribute level as the game progresses. None of them should be ignored or minimized. I suggest raising each attribute to 9 before specializing if you want to. Good play. I await further adventures. So yes, I have taken a lot from this. So your suggestions here is what I think gave me the suggestion here to get all my attributes to 9 before going into specializations, and so that's what I have kind of generally have been doing, waiting to get to 9 on that, although I have gone ahead and put some of my perks in there, but that was a good advice. So let's go through each one here. Yes, I am running an intelligent run of the game. I do that for all my games. I feel like that's appropriate for the game. I don't want to rush through the game. I'm not in these games to rush through it. I want to explore the story. I want to explore everything about the game. So I'm going to run an intelligent game. That goes for every game I play. You can change your difficulty at any time. In fact, I have done that now. I have changed it back to normal. I had it on easy. I've changed it back to normal. So it is on normal now. And I found out, yes, you can do that in the game. So even though music may be permitted on YouTube, you may get a notice, not a copyright strike, etc., etc. Why take the chance? I just don't want to take the chance. It's just not necessary. If I can avoid it, I'm going to try to avoid it. It's just safer that way and gives my channel a better standing overall. I do feel that even though you don't necessarily get a strike for music, even if you get a notice, I feel that somehow on the back end, that may still put like a negative mark on your channel. Like, I'm sure YouTube tracks everything that happens, even if it's just a notice and not a strike. They're like, well, you've got 5,000 notices. Maybe we need to pay a little bit more attention to that channel. You know what I mean? They'll look at you a little bit more if you've got 1 million notices on there. But if you have no notices, maybe they kind of let things slide a little more on your channel. That's my thinking, so let me just try to avoid that best I can. As for the nudity, I'm going to also keep that disabled. This is a family-friendly channel. I don't really need that in my gameplay to enjoy the game, so that's going to be turned off. Yeah, I guess I will miss some things, but oh well. Also, the hacking. I have learned how to hack finally. I did watch a tutorial video on hacking. I now know how to do that. I did that in the latest video pretty well. As for the NVIDIA remover, I have found that the background remover that they have, the AI background remover, it does work, but it does cause lag sometimes. It causes lag in the recording of the video. It also causes sometimes the audio in the video to desync, so my mouth will be moving, but it won't look like the audio is synced with my mouth. And that's mainly because I'm recording, keep in mind, the game. I'm also recording my webcam. You know, it's a live camera feed into the computer through a camera. And then I'm also, the background removal would then add on top of that, and all of that's being rendered from the GPU. So the GPU is rendering the game. The GPU is doing the H.264 encoding from OBS, so it's rendering that. And then at the same time, it's trying to also run the background removal AI stuff through the video encoder and decoder. So the video and encoder and decoder is working hard to encode the video from OBS and do the background removal, and it's trying to play the game and use all the cores and everything at one time. So putting that much strain on the video card at once, it causes desync issues, it causes lag. So I'm going to keep the background removal off. I've tried it in the past, and on a game like this that runs really hard, it's just too much. So yeah, maybe if I had a 5090, which I don't have, but I don't have a 5090. So a few general tips: loot everything. Yes, that is my mantra for every game. I'm going to loot everything I can, and then I'm going to explore it later and disassemble or sell stuff. So I'm going through all that. And this is a good tip: don't break off in the middle of a quest, as tragedy may occur. So if I'm in the middle of a quest, I'm staying on quest. I should say on mission. I'm staying on mission, and I am not going to break off in the middle of a mission and go do something else. I'm going to stay on that mission. I'm going to stick with that, and I'm going to work on those attributes and perks as well. You can access or read shards in the character menu screen. You can find it as part of the drop-down menu when you hover over journal in the middle of that screen. So I'll remember that, because I wasn't clear on where to access my shards. Read shards in emails, especially message shards. Reveals motives, passcodes, hidden entrances, and the like. Favorite your favorite weapons and sell the rest to make money. Disassemble if you need the XP or components. So yes, I've learned to disassemble every weapon I don't want, sell everything else. I'm doing that, and the goal will be to upgrade iconic weapons and that sort of thing. And I will try to read all the message shards. If I don't read everything on screen, know that I'm going to read it off screen. Some of it gets pretty lengthy. I don't necessarily need to do it on screen, but I will read it. I will do it off screen. Oh wow, your nerdy reactions are hilarious. Well, thank you. Those glasses look cool. I was actually shocked how well they looked. However, very uncomfortable. They are uncomfortable. I'm not going to wear them again. That was a gimmick. I'm done with that. YouTube doesn't care about copyrighted music. It's all fair use if it's in-game. Not true. Not true at all. I've encountered many situations where if it's game music, it has been copyright claimed or stricken. I've had issues with some past games in that. The Metro games were actually pretty bad at that, and I had to cut out parts. They have an AI removal tool that will cut out the audio for the music. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But I have encountered this several times myself, so I'm not going to take the chance. All right, I'm excited to watch you discover the world. I played it originally when it came out and was disappointed with how janky it was. Fast forward 5 years, in the comfort of the game, I love going back and just cruising through the world. It's my GTA, and the story is good. I encourage you to follow your gut when you see something interesting. The dialogue can lag a little, so sometimes it feels like if the conversation is over, but it just takes a few seconds to continue now and then. Your skills with gunplay is what excited me the most. I'm an FPS player too, and mixing it in with Netrunner build is such a joy. I very much play the game like I'm a futuristic Navy SEALs. So I hope you enjoy the time. Find Skippy. Don't know who Skippy is. But all right, so I am an FPS player. I like that style of gameplay, and I think this will be a good game for me in that style of gameplay. And I've heard a lot about this Netrunner thing, and I guess I'm learning what a Netrunner is. As a Netrunner, someone who uses like abilities, cyberware abilities, hacking people, doing that sort of thing as you're playing. So I guess I'm going to lean into that and try that. That's probably what I'm going to end up doing too, I guess. I'm trying to figure out. Right now, I don't have many cyberware upgrades, or any, so I have to figure all that out. It's worth the wait as the game now mostly stable and more polished when it was first released. Remember having Phantom Liberty DLC with it too, such a mind-blowing expansion, if I do not try to spoil it out. So yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about Phantom Liberty. Can't wait to get into that. Sometimes this game imposes a notion of time limits, but for the most part you can take as much time as you want doing whatever you want. You could probably spend 100 hours in your first playthrough and it would not be a waste. The devs have put in neat little details in almost every part of Night City at this point that you're almost always bound to find something by just walking in a direction. So that is something I will certainly do, is walk around and try to find missions that I can pick up, side missions and so forth. I'm sure I can, and I will do that. And I like the idea that I'm not on a time limit, even though it sounds like I am. Like in story, I'm in a time limit, but in game, I'm not really in a time limit. So one more thing, you can start a new game to play through the other life path intros and then abandon them. So I probably will not do that, but what I will do is probably replay the game at some point and just try those other life paths and like try different builds. Like I could see myself doing like an FPS Netrunner build here and then do a different kind of build on another playthrough and so forth. That's probably good stuff for future stuff. Had to hype this vid. Thank you for hyping the vid. I appreciate it. Take it from someone who has every achievement and thousands of hours in the game. Every life path has its benefits. I've played them all multiple times, and funny enough, the first I choose is still my favorite, which is Nomad, because I thought it was better to play as someone who had no idea what Night City is like and how it works. I got this game with the launch of Phantom Liberty and never experienced many glitches or run problems. As an FPS gamer from the first Battlefield and COD, Far Cry, Half-Life, and many others, so those are all my games. I don't really play COD, but I did in the past. I played Battlefield in the past. I have played a little bit of Battlefield 6, but not a ton. But I am definitely Far Cry, Half-Life, all that stuff. Took me somewhere I can't ever come back from. It has everything. It's like you go to watch a movie but find out you are the movies. Nice. Look forward to the experience. No rush to complete the next step in a mission, main story, or side quest. It's very common for people to progress the main story to a certain point and then spend tens of hours completing side gigs and leveling, collecting cars, buying every apartment, etc. And I highly recommend that you start the DLC Phantom Liberty as soon as you can, since you are on easy. Being around level 15 should be no problem. Technically, you could accidentally complete the entire base game without touching the DLC. Well, I will make sure to get to the DLC, but I'm probably going to wait a little bit. The way I like to think about it is if I had played this game when it was launched, I would have probably finished the game before I started the DLC like everyone else. So I want to get a lot of the base game finished before I hit the DLC, because I think that's kind of maybe, you know, how most people would have experienced it as well. But yeah, I can't wait to do all the side stuff. That's going to be a lot of fun. And I did raise my difficulty. I'm no longer on easy. I am now on normal. Awesome video, you rock. No, you rock. I really like Cyberpunk 2077. It reminds me of that movie Ghost in the Shell. I like anything futuristic and futuristic technology. I saw this post and I liked this a lot because I didn't mention this in the game. I am a huge fan of Ghost in the Shell. I have seen the animes, all of them. Ghost in the Shell Second Gig, Ghost in the Shell. I've seen the original movie. I've seen the new movie with the actress that I can't remember her name. You know the one. Anyway, I have seen all of them. I've seen all of Ghost in the Shell, but yes, I started with the animes a long time ago, and I watched them all, and the original movie as well. So I know Ghost in the Shell well. And this definitely has a Ghost in the Shell vibe. Absolutely, 100%. So I didn't mention that, but yeah, Ghost in the Shell. And I, of course, mentioned the Deus Ex games. Yeah, This is right up my alley. What can I say? I enjoyed that. Compared to the hierarchy of Arasaka, Abernathy is nothing. She's just some middle management and never reappears again after the Corpo life path intro. No, that's too bad. All the life paths reset you to the same point. That first mission, rescuing Sandra Dorset. But how they go about it is different, and Corpo is the one that starts the highest and has the furthest to fall. So that's good to know. I guess they all kind of get to that point and then go forward. But I still would like to replay the game in those and try it anyway. Yeah, I haven't played the game with ray tracing, but seeing all the screenshots over the years, it's undeniably glorious. I play on hubs, with hardware unboxed, modified settings with RT off, no upscaling techniques, but I do make use of AMD's frame generation tech. Well, that's interesting that you don't use upscaling, but you do use frame generation. You know, you might have arguably better image quality switching that around and using upscaling and not frame gen. Frame gen is going to add latency as well, but it's also going to add some image quality problems because the AI rendered frames between the real frames are going to have errors. They're not going to be perfect. And so, yes, you're getting a real frame and then a real frame here, but in between you're getting what people call fake frames, AI rendered frames. Those frames are going to have errors, and so they're going to have image quality problems between. And so what's going to happen is you're going to have the image quality is going to be degraded anyway with frame generation. I prefer upscaling because upscaling has gotten really good right now. DLSS has the transformer model. So in the transformer model DLSS with DLSS 4, the upscaling component is really good. And now NVIDIA has updated that even more with DLSS 4.5. That is the second gen transformer model, and it looks really good. It's obviously it's not like rasterized. I still prefer raster with like DLAA, you know, the native AA, basically the AI rendered native AA. You're running at native AA with their DLAA anti-aliasing, and that looks really good. I prefer that, but the performance hit is much greater. If you need the extra performance, then I would use upscaling, not frame gen. Frame gen is going to add latency. Frame gen is also, so what a lot of people don't understand about frame gen, it's not so much that it's just adding more latency, but it's the fact that it's widening the difference between the minimum and the average. So think of it like this. If you're running, you know, native AA or DLSS upscaling or FSR upscaling, and you've got a minimum of 40 and an average of 50, the distance between the 40 and the 50 is this, right? Now, turn on frame generation. The minimum stays the same, 40, but the average goes to 90. But look at the difference. Look at the difference between now the 40 and the 90. It's much greater. So the difference between the minimum and the average has increased. You feel that more. It feels more floaty. It feels more, it just feels, you can feel the difference between 40 and 90 more than you feel the difference between 40 and 50. And so upscaling minimizes that, but frame generation widens that. And that's what people don't understand about frame gen. It's not just the fact that it's adding milliseconds latency, it's also widening the difference between the minimum and the average. And you feel that more because the jump between 40 and 90 is greater. You feel that as the person playing the game. That's why I don't like frame gen. So it's a combination of the image quality loss and the performance difference there that you feel more. It makes it feel more floaty, and you feel that difference between 40 and 90. You feel the difference greater. I prefer upscaling. That's just my little rant for the day. So you are using an RX 7900 GRE and 1440p ultra wide monitor. So with the 7900, yes, you are limited because you are not able to use FSR 4. And that's really on AMD. They need to get FSR 4 down to RDNA 3 GPUs. And right now it's only RDNA 4 GPUs. So yes, you're limited with only using FSR 3.1. Therefore, your image quality with upscaling is not great. So I understand the frame gen in your situation, and really that's on AMD. They need to get FSR 4 working on RDNA 3. If FSR 4 was working on RDNA 3 and you could use FSR 4 in the game, I would suggest that. But you can't, there are some like third party, mod things like lossless scaling and some other things out there. I've never gotten into it, but I don't know that I would. But yeah, I understand the situation. Oh, as for ray tracing, yeah, I am just using the standard ray tracing, psycho ray tracing in the game. It is not the path tracing, but again, I don't have a 5090 or else I would. Actually, I would play it with path tracing if I had a 5090, but with my 4090, even that is too much to really get high frame rates while I'm recording to enjoy it. And nope, not judging how you play or what decisions you make regarding your character points and decisions on how to handle things. This game is all about you, so play it how you want. This game is a bit of a blend between GTA and Deus Ex, and oh my, how it's pegged me wishing to see new Deus Ex games. I've played it multiple times now. I'm very interested in what you think as you played through it. I hope you had a very Merry Christmas and have a very Happy New Year. Yes, I did, and same to you. Deus Ex, one of my favorite game franchises. Really enjoy it. I played some GTA, but Deus Ex is where it's at for me. So I'm looking forward to seeing how all that plays out. That was a long rant on that one. Sorry about that. Anytime a game gets bad reviews or has several bugs, I immediately buy it. And that's what I did with Cyberpunk. All right. Instant new viewer. One thing I can say about Cyberpunk, if you think you're going to get spoiled, even if it's people helping, don't ever read the comments, enjoy it yourself. Yeah, so far I haven't been spoiled. That's a good thing, but I know I take a chance with that. Make your own choices and have fun out in the wildest city. Also, if the game starts to bog down after a while, save, exit the game, and delete the shader cache. So I'll keep that in mind. I haven't had it bog down on me yet, but yeah, I'll reset the shader cache if I need to. I'll keep that in mind. So happy you are playing this. I played in 2020 and stopped for a bit and really enjoyed it when I came back and finished it. And what is your upload schedule? So I did reply to this. My upload schedule is going to be, it's working out to be 3 times a week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'm going to aim for that. I may miss one video every now and then. I do apologize, but I'm going to try to keep to that. I wanted to do one video every day, but my gameplays have been pretty long in this game, so probably going to be 3 a week right now. That's the deal. 3 a week. Be glad you waited on launch. The game was a mess. Absolutely. You see the direction the game is going? Sir, you do not. Plan on a longer video for main missions like the heist. They can be lengthy, as I found out. I started playing 3 days ago, just got to Act 2, and honestly, I am disappointed by the story. Well, it's interesting to hear. It'll be interesting to see how I feel about that. I will say this, at first, I wasn't as into it. I mean, I was into the game, but because I didn't know where the story was going yet, I wasn't really into the game. I was playing it, but I wasn't feeling it yet. You know what I mean? I wasn't feeling it. I'm feeling it now. 7 videos in, I am feeling the game now. I'm feeling it. I'm there. So let's see how that continues. You should install some mods for optimization. So I'm not going to install mods because this is my first gameplay of the game, my first experience. I want to experience like everyone else experiences it and get the base game feel. Plus I need to have something to compare it to, because if I do mods later, well, then I need to know how that is different from not having mods. So I need to play it without mods first, get that experience, and then on my second playthrough, I can do mods when I more know what I'm doing. Right now, there's enough to learn in the game. There's enough to figure out that adding mods would just complicate it for me, and I don't want that. So there you go. Yeah, I'm gonna wait on the mods, play it at base game level, figure that out, get that experience, and then in another playthrough in the future, perhaps add mods when I know what I'm doing, and then I'll know what I can compare it to and say, oh yeah, this part of the game is much better with a mod, or inventory management is much better with this, or whatever, you know. I need something to compare that to. So this went on a lot longer than I was thinking, but that's the first video comments. Let's try to get through the rest of these at a quicker pace. So this is part number 2. I've got a lot to learn. Forgive me, I'm a noob. And to that, the reason why I made that title is because I think I made a lot of mistakes on this playthrough. Now, knowing how the game plays, I would not have made those same mistakes. But of course, it was my first playthrough, so I made those mistakes. But if I replay it now, when I go in to take all those people out, I won't make those same mistakes. I'll just take them out. Scavs are a kill on sight for me. I do love the game. There's much to do in Night City. So yeah, if I were to play this again, I'm not going to try to even take those guys out silently or incapacitate them. I'm just going to shoot them in the head. That's how I do it now. I didn't know that then. The music in this game fits the situation well, especially in combat. It just puts you into a zone and hypes you up. I agree. I have noticed that the music is very engaging. It's very loud, but it's engaging and it does amp you up. Given how this game is structured, I think you should stick to the main quest for now, meet up with Dex and complete all his quests, including the one in Konpeki Plaza. After Konpeki Plaza, there's one more quest called Meet With. Once that's done, you'll have the proper introduction, and that's the perfect time to start doing whatever you want. Of course, if you stumble across something along the way to the main quest, feel free to dive in, but it's probably not worth tackling side quests just yet. I won't spoil why, but this path feels the smartest way to go. Best regards and have a blast. Cyberpunk is awesome. You can easily spend hours just admiring the world and exploring the hidden corners, but stick to the main storyline a bit longer, trust me. So yeah, I did do that, and I found out that was a good idea. It was a good idea to stick to the main storyline because obviously the game starts after you meet Johnny, and that's it. So you need to get to that point. It's after the heist. You need to get through the heist, and then really the game starts. So that's what I did. That was good advice, and I followed your advice, and that's what I did, and it worked out. So thank you for that comment. Me screaming internally to look at the top right to see your eddies. Yeah, I didn't know where the eddies were, what the eddies were. I didn't even know what eddies meant. Now I know that eddies is a money, euro dollars or whatever. But that's coming from a gonk with over 300 hours. Yeah, I mean, and that's another thing is the terms. Gonk, what does that mean? I guess that's that's like a cyber enhanced person. I'm not a big fan of picking up all the junk myself, but I guess you do get a few eddies. Yeah, I mean, it's not a ton. I get like 3 eddies from some stuff. It's not a ton, but why not? You know, why not just pick it up and sell it? I prefer grabbing all the weapons and selling those. There's a little kiosk machines all over the place, which I did find. A lot of gigs have you drop off the gig objective at those kiosks, but you can also sell anything you don't want. Weapons are a good way of making some easy cash flow. I'd say keep all the iconic weapons, which I'll do, and store the ones you don't want in your stash, which I will do. Others have said it too. Finish Act 1, Konpeki Plaza, and missions. You won't be afraid to throw your weight around with the dialogue options. Remember, you're ex-corpo. You got thick skin and don't take from anybody. Use that to your advantage. Oh, this is so much fun to watch unfold. Yeah, I'm going to choose the corpo options. I have found them to be aggressive. You're right, they're aggressive, but I guess that's who I am. I've got a thick skin. I'm a corpo. I'm going to use them. Want money and street cred? Do the NCPD Hustles assault in progress. Reported crime, and don't forget to look for access points to hack. Do this by scanning your surroundings. So, NCPD Hustles, I haven't done any of them yet. I need to do that. I guess I need to find them and do them. I have turned on the thing, so I get the calls now. I guess I need to scan around for access points and do that too. And that's something that, so here's something I did in the Deus Ex games, and I may do it in this game, is I took time to explore my surroundings and like look around and hack into, like in Deus Ex, you can hack the garage doors and you gain points from hacking, and then you gain loot from inside the storage places. I may look around for stuff like that in this game and go to like each building, and anything that's hackable, hack it, get the data mining stuff from it, see if there's loot around there, see if there's people I can talk to pick up quests. I may make a video where like all I do is go around the local area, like around my apartment area, and just all around that whole like Watson area, and do that and start there and then expand out and make videos where like that's all I do in the video is that. So I will make an announcement at the start of the video if I do that. If that's going to be that kind of a video, I'll make an announcement that I'm doing that, so that if you want to watch, you can, but you don't have to, where I don't do any quests, but I actually just do exploration and hacking. So I am probably going to do that, just like I did with the Deus Ex games. Loving the videos. Yeah, only option is to really shoot everyone. I mean, throughout the game, you do have options to fry their chips, but that kills them too. Remember, check all the computers you can. You will gain access to cameras and devices along the way. So yes, I will do that. I will shoot everyone. I think you have to shoot them. I think I'm getting it. I'm just going to shoot them. Oh yes, clothing. This was one thing I was really confused on, and I got a lot of good responses about how the clothing work, and now I'm very clear on that. Clothing is primarily for looks. There are a few items of clothing that have armor, but it's not much at all. The vast majority of your armor comes from cyberware. Check various stats of new weapons and compare them to what you have equipped. Iconic weapons are almost always better, even if the base stats are lower. That's because iconics have features that make them deadlier, far deadlier. For instance, the pistol in your stash, while having slightly lower base damage, does have a 20% chance of setting the target on fire with each shot that hits them. I like those kind of weapons. Also, iconic weapons are the only weapons you can upgrade and make better. Doing gigs and NCPD scanner hustles are great ways to make money, so I gotta do gigs and hustles. They usually pay well and up your street cred as well. You can find them on your map. Both gigs and scanner hustles show up as green markers. Your wardrobe will allow you to put on any clothing you have ever had in your inventory. It's more or less your transmog station. Also, all weapons that aren't iconic, all clothing and junk items in your backpack can be disassembled to get components that can be used for crafting. I also suggest you don't sell anything you can disassemble. Disassemble them instead. Making money in this game is easy. Doing gigs, scanner hustles, and taking out cyber psychos will make you stack on stacks. Good, I'm going to do that. And as the game goes on, you will unlock even more ways to make money. I won't say how much as to ruin any surprises. I hope that this helps with gameplay. Yes, it does. Thank you. P.S. Your scanner is hands down the single most useful tool V has in his arsenal. It will highlight anything you can loot or need to find for jobs and such. Use it when you are in a bind and it will almost always give you clues. I am loving watching your playthrough. I hope this helps so much. Thank you, William Sparks. It helps a ton. There's a lot here to unpack in this post. So I have learned that most of the clothing does not have stats. My wardrobe is just for looks. However, there are a couple of things that do have some armor stats, and I have to equip them in my inventory, which I've done, and I'm going to show in the video. The weapon I have is an iconic weapon. Only those can be upgraded. They can have perks to them, like setting people on fire. I like weapons that set people on fire. I like that a lot. I want those weapons. So I like that when you can use a weapon and it doesn't just kill them, but it also has a secondary, like a chance of fire and set them on fire. I'm going to do that. I need to do gigs and scanners, hustles, jobs to get money. I'm going to do that. I'm going to disassemble everything and sell stuff. Pretty simple, but I'm going to do all that stuff. So thank you. A lot of information there. I too prefer to not kill NPCs unless necessary, but trust me, it's up to me. I do it as much and slow as painful to scavengers as possible. You saw what they do to people. Yeah, I don't like scavengers. It wasn't the worst they've done. So if I see a scav just standing there minding their business, I take them out. I actually found out that using mantis blades leaves me the most satisfied with the result. This person does not like scavengers. Thank you. I might try that myself. Just take out scavengers no matter what when I see them. Won't that cause the cops, though, to come after me? I don't want to kill the cops, so I guess I just run away. I have to ask, what is it with streamers and YouTubers these days? They seem to be unable to read and follow the clearest instructions. When fighting the scavs, there's a quest marker where to go. He even tried to scan it, but go there? Nah, why should I? When looking at the perk trees, so first of all, I'll say a lot of that, as I mentioned in the comments, does come from the fact of playing other games. You get used to how other games played, and I had just played a game that you didn't necessarily need to kill everyone immediately. And I'm kind of used to some games where you can incapacitate and you get more for it. Like sometimes it's better to silently take them out or to take them out and not kill them. And I didn't know how this game's going to play. A lot of people, you know, when they start a game, they don't know what the gameplay is like in the game. They don't know what's best for the game. So you kind of pick up on clues that you've played from past games, and you try to emulate that until you figure out how the game is best played. And that's what I was doing. So could I have followed that quest marker? Yeah, but I saw the guys in there and I was like, well, what if I take them out silently and I don't even have to get into a firefight? You know, what if I can take them out and they don't shoot me once? Because this was a popular thing in the Deus Ex games, is you get extra bonuses and extra skill points for either ghost or either taking them out and incapacitating them. You get more points for that than just killing. But every game's different, and this game may not be like that. So I didn't know that when I started playing it. And now I know it, and I would do it differently now, but I didn't know it then. When looking at the perk trees, moving with the mouse over the infos, but instead of reading, moves the mouse erratically. Yeah, I mean, I'm learning the game. I don't know how it works yet. Also, reading all that stuff, I like to do off screen, because if I just sit there and stare at my screen and read it in front of a camera, you're just going to fast forward through that anyway. You're not going to watch me do that. That's boring. I get that. So that kind of stuff where I read the attributes, read the perks, read the cyberware and what it does, and figure out what path I'm going to go down, I'll do it off camera and study it, because I am just going to sit there and stare at the screen like this for a long time doing nothing. So I'll do that off camera. You can get a mod for your weapons called Packs. It's cheap. It turns a weapon non-lethal. Instead of dying, they roll about on the floor. You can finish them if you want, but you don't get any additional XP. All right, so that answers my question. I don't get additional XP for that. I'll look for this Packs. I thought I had Packs. Maybe I don't. I don't know. Number 3, highlighted exclamation. So this one is where I did my first brain dance. That was an experience, by the way, the brain dance. That was pretty complicated. I had heard that term brain dance a lot, but I didn't know what it meant. Now I know what it means. Highlighted exclamation is the main quest. The news playing on TVs gives exposition into the world. So sometimes it's based on things you do. And so I will listen for that as I play. And yeah, highlighted exclamation, main quest. I must say, the acting, both voice and body, is spectacular. There's real emotion to it. I agree. Non-lethal pacifist gameplay is pretty advanced stuff in the game. You need to be very good at stealth for starters. So I'm not good at stealth, so I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do pacifist. Balancing disposal of junk, spare. Whoa! Okay, yeah. Balancing, it's a big post, thank you again. Balancing disposal of junk, spare weapons, and clothing takes some judgment. You want a decent store of both cash and crafting components in your inventory. I did have some duplicated clothing items, so I needed to sell them, which I did do. Your 2 pistols work very differently and both can be upgraded. All the weapons have unique abilities and properties. They require testing and study. Absolutely. It's going to take me time. As you're watching, you're drinking a diet cranberry juice. So mixed half and half with soda water. Awesome. Main quest advance the game story. Side quests don't, but they are interesting, fun, and will gather XP and all the important loot and resources. So I'm going to do them all. I advise spacing main quests out with side content a day or 2 of game time at least. Street battles you encounter are gold mines of loot, so don't avoid them. Yeah, I haven't gotten into street battles yet, but I guess I've been scared to do it because I don't want to get into a firefight with the police and I don't want to kill them. There is a Steam achievement if you use appropriate life path dialogue choices. Interesting. There are dialogues that are only open to you if you have sufficient level in that skill. Okay, look at your attribute tree page to see what the symbols are. So that's what the symbols meant. I had a question about that. You can review the information you're given in your journal and phone messages. They are important and straightforward. I need to continue to watch those. Many of the terms and references to people gangs are in your journal database. The Mox is a street gang consisting of sex workers of various types and their allies like Judy. Evelyn's Konpeki brain dance is the most complex in the game. The most helpful thing I can suggest is that you may be necessary to run the recording back completely to the beginning and review it. Getting some experience before the pickup is a very wise decision. It will be fun to watch. You have no idea how many players have trouble with the brain dance because they never realize that the slides show the time, location of the clues. I did pick up on that. I think I missed it at a couple of points, but I have picked up on that. So yeah, I need to make sure to go back to the time slice where it's showing the clue. I am here for the full ride. The side quests in this game are ace. Get them all. I'm 150 hours in and it's still my first playthrough. This game has really hooked me. Yeah, thank you for the full ride. I can't wait to do all these side quests. You all right? And how to determine the side jobs versus the main jobs? Well, with weapons, there is one other factor. CDPR did a very good job on giving all the weapons a different feel and how each operates. So even if one looks statistically good or better than others, it may not be what you like. I'm on my 5th playthrough right now, and I'm still finding all sorts of new Easter eggs I hadn't seen before. Every last square inch of the full map. It's pretty crazy how one can set up things and go about playthroughs and playstyles. Every playthrough I've done, I've adopted a different style and tried different things. And a tip on non-lethal gameplay, you can aim for extremities to keep enemies alive. You can also use weapon upgrades to make firearms non-lethal. You won't be able to max out all your abilities, and you cannot reassign the attribute points. Since you own Phantom Liberty, you'll get 60 points. Your perk points, however, can be reassigned at any time. I noticed you walked right by the NPCs having a conversation in Lizzie's. I highly recommend you stop and listen to conversations with the blue subtitles. They are easy, either hilarious and or exposition. I will look for those and listen. I do try to stay away from side jobs, gigs, or scanner. I do try to stay away from them until Act 2 begins. Okay, trust me, you will get some pretty funny and or helpful dialogue if you do. Again, though, feel free to do gigs and scanner hustles to your heart's content. Don't forget, in brain dances, clues are marked by highlighted areas in the relevant layers. I only saw this as you missed 2 clues in the audio layer in the end. It doesn't make a difference in this case, but in the future, you could miss something if you don't check them all. I'll look for that. The mock scavs and maelstroms are gangs. There are others, but I won't tell you who they are. All right, gangs. It's still such an underrated game. People should get more into it. Agreed. I love that you're playing this game. I love it. Yes, play your style and at your speed. These symbols are attached to your attributes and you have invested into. The more you do, the more skill points get added into the attribute. Yes, explore everything, open everything. There's loot everywhere, and while some things are small, you can find epic items at random times. For my 2 cents, stick to the main story and any gigs that get added to your journal. So don't wander too far off the path and explore something too much just yet. You'll come to a big story moment where things will make much more sense and the world will really open up. As for the graphics, I keep things how they are. They're fine for me. For audio, as an earbud user, turn down the music to very low and the ambient noise a bit. I did turn down the ambient a little bit. While I wish for an ep every day, I'll watch however you release them. Yeah, I'm going to try to do three a week. All right, for part 4, that face, making the pickup. This is where I did the pickup. When you are presented with 2 choices, draw a weapon or take down Royce, it doesn't have to go down south. You could choose neither option and let time run out. Now this happens in the Deus Ex games, where there's like a third option where you don't do anything and then something else happens. I realize now this game can be like that, so maybe I choose that, and I probably would have done that. Because you remove the malware from it, he just takes the money and gives you the bot. If you didn't remove the malware, well, I guess you found out that in a future replay. Grenades now refill automatically over time. You will be able to shorten that time as well as increase the max amount. The grenades you found and couldn't pick up are from an older version and were accidentally left in the game. It's a bug. You mod your weapons in the weapons menu. Unfortunately, it looked at iconic weapon, which can't be modded. So this is what I have to understand about modding, right? Iconic weapons can be upgraded, but iconic weapons can't be modded. Regular weapons cannot be upgraded, but they can be modded. Something like that. If the enemies have a net runner, and if he has a line of sight or can see through a camera, they'll try to hack you. If they can't see you, they'll try to find you. If it succeeds, the enemy knows your position and might run towards it. You will gain access to cyberware to counteract these hacking attempts. Ha ha ha, you decrypted the chip in front of her. I noticed that. Well, look, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know I shouldn't have. I thought I was supposed to. The little thing popped up in the corner, and I thought I needed to click it right then because I didn't know if I could get back into the chip later because I didn't know where to find it, so I just did it right then, right in front of her. That's funny. The red lines mean you are being hacked by an enemy netrunner. There was a brief screen pop-up explaining that you missed it. It's true that ammo is everywhere and you can craft it cheaply. I applaud your looting instinct. Note that there are other power assault rifles, the Ajax and the Umbra, that you might want to try and compare it to the Copperhead. Okay, I'll look at that. Ajax and Umbra. I'll have to look for those. I haven't seen those yet. If you can scan the area you're searching, it will highlight non-obvious loot. There's no flashlight in the game, but there's a Karashi night vision mod on Nexus if you want to check it out. Nah, I'm not going to do any mods just yet. It's one of the few mods I use that adds something significant to the game, might in the future. However, upgrading your eye cyberware helps. I'm going to do that. The pickup is a wonderful fun mission, quite correct. Check out your crafting area and discover how to upgrade your weapons, which I've kind of done now. Mods slots for weapons don't appear until you get to tier 2 weapons and higher. As you raise your street cred, you will start to find higher tier weapons and most other items, or they will be available at vendor shops. You can craft weapons as well, but in general, there's an expensive way to do it in terms of collecting crafting material. So I do need more street cred. That's something I got to work on. The next mission, the heist, is quite long. You play at a slower pace, so if you can, it might be worth setting aside a bit of time. Yeah, that one was long. Unfortunately, from a story perspective, the heist flows very seamlessly into the next part of the game, and in my opinion, it's best to experience it in the whole thing. I did have to break it up. That said, it definitely takes more than 1.5 hours. I started Cyberpunk from the beginning again yesterday. I think it's my 5th time already, so I wish both of us a great time playing. Good luck to you as well. You should kill the enemies you incapacitate in battle. You acquire skill points that way. Yeah, I finished them with a headshot. I'm just doing it. I'm doing headshots. Man, 99% of streamers don't take the inhaler. So disappointing. I don't do drugs. No drugs. We're clean. Modding weapons. Click on equipped weapon when in your inventory. When it says empty slot, those circles on the top left, you can install add-ons like sights, silencers. Those are attachments and mods depending on what free slots are available. So I did learn there's a difference between mod and attachment. There's a whole bunch of different paths to take in this mission. They change interactions way later in the game depending on how you play it out. But just know that there are no wrong choices, just choices. Also about the red line in your character screen intelligence is a perk called Counter Hack, and when it's filled, you scan the red line and you can hack the hacker. When a net runner attacks you, you can trace the path through the red lines, taking out relay points or break the hack. You can also counter hack later when you are equipped well enough. Edit: what you say at the end of the video is correct, and you can hack through walls by using ping on your enemies. I don't want to tell you too much, so just test ping on an enemy or an device to get some huge advantages and cool new options and tactic. It's much fun to play around with, so I don't want to spoil it. I'll have to try that. You will have a few more brain dances to watch in this game. You should do the NCPD hustles, get your street cred up, and you'll get some cyberware capacity shards, which will make gigs and missions easier, as well as picking up a few iconic weapons. Great video. Keep the fun coming. I respectfully request that you ignore the obvious spam emails when you look at messages. Also, a shard that has white words means you already have that picked up and can skip it. Pinging enemies will help you tons in a firefight. I will try that. I haven't tried the ping stuff yet. I did post this in your second video, but I wasn't sure if you went back to read it. I have read it now. There are a few items of clothing. Yeah, so I read all of that. Thank you again. I really enjoy your Deus Ex playthroughs, so I am very much enjoying this one too. Have you had any spoilers? No spoilers. All I knew is that Johnny was the name of Keanu's character, but I didn't know what part he played, but I knew that that was his name. I knew Keanu obviously was in it and played a big role. That's it. That's all I knew. Trying to think, is there really anything else? I wouldn't say this is spoilers. I guess at this point I've kind of learned this. There's a space program in the game. There's some kind of launch pad maybe. I'm not sure. A spaceship. Obviously there's space plays a part. That's about all I've gathered. There's a component. I mean, we saw that at the beginning when our guy killed everyone at that space agency. So somehow that's going to play a part, I feel, but that's just speculation. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else to expect, Yeah, I'm not spoiled on anything, so I'm looking forward to it. All right, part 5, the heist. This is where a lot happened. It's getting beefy, man. Was I feeling punched in the face when I played through that mission? Yeah, I did not expect it. Didn't expect it. Clothing after 2.0 no longer has armor on it. You get your armor from cyberware. You can also deconstruct your clothing, disassemble. You can still keep it and find your outfit, wardrobe, all that. So yep, I have learned that now. A tip for the access points, you have to select a hex digit from the first row first. So now I've learned how to hack. Thank you. It's going to get more difficult, especially in Dogtown for Phantom Liberty, but speccing your character out is super easy to keep pace and even have V feel op. Not God mode op, but still quite op. And it used to be even easier pre 2.0 patches with clothing, adding armor. So yeah, I don't have that. Although I do have an armor now that I do have a piece of clothing that has an armor on it. My current character, I keep 2 pistols, 1 smart, 1 power, so I can have a silencer for sneaking around emergencies. Yeah, I should get something with a silencer. A shotgun, a submachine gun, and a sniper rifle. A good tip after the heist is a good time to rummage around the green side quests for leveling up. I'm gonna do that. Good idea to go back to apartment to sleep 3 hours and shower. I haven't even done that yet. I need to do that for bonus points. If getting into the role-playing aspect, might as well eat and drink. I'm doing that with my alcoholic current character. Another fun video, just some friendly advice. Crouch. Crouching will make you more difficult to detect. You do move a little bit slower, but you are also quieter. There are a few times during the heist that if you had crouched, you would not have been detected. When you took down your first security guard, Jackie threw you a silencer. I didn't even see that. So I will use silencers. Same with knives, as they can be melee weapons. So yeah, I need to get a silencer on there. Do that. Everyone always asks, this doesn't matter if there's no evidence of poison. Yorinobu is one of the most powerful men on the planet, and what he says is truth, even when it's a lie. If they're laying on their back with one hand on the chest and the other spread, they're knocked out. You can zoom in on their face and see if it's moving a little or pain. So yeah, you can tell if they're knocked out or not. Good work figuring out how to upgrade and mod your weapons. Note that scopes and muzzle devices are termed attachments. Mods are gadgets that give your weapons special properties. In general, mods can only be applied to standard weapons at tier 2 and iconic or higher. Iconic weapons can take attachments, but not mods. So iconic weapons can take attachments, not mods. Okay. Note that also mods can be raised in tier by your crafting. Tier 1 mods can be combined into one Tier 2 mod. Best practice is to never add a lower tier mod to a higher tier weapon. Okay, that's kind of a waste so I won't do that. You improve them by just replacing them. Clothing cannot be modded, but things like helmets and armor vests have armor stats. If you put your gun crosshairs on a downed enemy, they'll turn red if he's still alive. When you crack a data terminal, it's more profitable to decode the bottom string first. If you're going to a proper net runner, you might want to upgrade your cyber deck. I need to do that. It's a matter of debate whether Act 1 is all prologue or not. Look forward to the next. Great video. Lots of tier 1 uncommon weapons aren't upgradable and not worth much. Just collect all the white or green blue items as possible and break them down into components. On the main inventory page is where you can select anything to view it. That includes weapons that you wish to add mods to. If you play this again, explore everywhere like upstairs. I must have missed something upstairs somewhere. Hint, you may not want to use your points as soon as you get them. It helps when you get to a door or treasure behind it and you need a certain amount of points in a particular attribute you plan to level up anyway. Makes sense? I have every attachment in this game in thousands of hours, so the only thing I will say here is don't worry about lots of things, but if you are better off disassembling your weapons and junk. There's free vehicles and iconic weapons everywhere. A must with attribute points and perks is 20 intelligence, 20 technical, 20 body, 15 reflexes, and the rest in cool. After that, you can open hack, move anything, and if you like loot, it's pretty important. I could sit here and give spoilers for everything as there's nothing in the game I haven't found, but I mentioned, yep, I'm probably gonna miss a lot of things, so just bear with me. Okay, this one where we met Johnny Silverhand for the first time. After 10 plus playthroughs and hundreds of hours in the game, it's really cool hearing your take on what happens in the story, not knowing what happens next. Absolutely. Absolutely loving these playthroughs. You talk it through more than others and you go into detail and explore it. Why rush the game? I hate Let's Players that rush a game and they miss so much. I don't want to miss it. I purchased the game. I spent money. I want to enjoy it. Keep it up. The world is open now, so you have all the quests for your taking. Don't rush through. There's no time limit. Regardless of what any particular character might say, you can do what you want when you want. There is only one mission that is time critical, but that is only the first section of Phantom Liberty. Important info. The ticking time of the relic is just story-wise, not game-wise. You have all the time in the world to do whatever you want. Game will tell you when you reach the point of no return. Avoid it until you've done everything you want to. Having watched another YouTuber that just ignored the point of no return, saying afterwards, well, I just thought I could do other stuff, when the game literally tells you no. I'm aware of games like that. So there's a point of no return. You want to have what you want to have done before that. And then typically after it is done, then you can go back before it happens and like do other stuff. But then it doesn't really count to like your main playthrough. So I want to do everything before I get to that point. I'm having fun watching you play, or your reactions are what I'm interested in, so enjoy. Thank you. Do I know him? So Takamura was the guy who scanned the alcove you were hiding in during the heist. So he was a guy who scanned, but started to scan but didn't finish it. He was dismissed from the room and did not witness the murder. He was the personal muscle for Saburo Asaka and Hanaka Arasaka. Basically, when you were Corpo, he was likely your boss's bodyguard. Got it. I prefer green tea with mint flavor. You know, that sounds, I want to make that now. Green tea with mint flavor. It does sound delicious. I'm going to make that sometime and have that. Also, I'm enjoying your playthrough. If I may offer a piece of advice, try to read the text you find throughout the game, even off camera. And I will, off camera. And oh man, this is going to throw you for so many loops, and I'm here for it. Remember where you are buried so that you can go back to it later. So I don't remember where I was buried. It was a junkyard, but I don't know where the junkyard is. I'll have to find it. Don't worry about the time frame. The progress moves at the speed of plot. By that I mean the relic moves along the path it's taking as you complete main missions. Feel free to explore, take gigs, side jobs, scanner hustles, or anything else you feel like. Take all the time you want exploring. I promise you won't just drop dead at some random moment if you don't do the main mission. Well, that's good to know. There are very few time constraints in this game. There are a few side jobs that you can miss if you go too far into the main missions, and there's only a few you can fail if you start them then leave. But most you have all the time in the world to do what you want to do, so don't worry about completing main missions as soon as possible. Read your phone messages when you get them. Some have tips or missions you may be doing. Some offer lore and unlock other jobs. One last thing, most blue dialogue don't affect the game. If you're looking to make friends with someone, just don't make ones that are rude or offensive. Otherwise, the blue options will uncover game lore and occasionally unlock hidden missions. Alright, I will do that. Oh, and one tip I found very immersive. You can turn on the NCPD dispatcher in the game settings, so you will receive some side quest link to the local police as voiced calls instead of simple text messages. I don't know why, but it's not on, right? That option was not on for me, so I did turn it on, so now I will get the NCPD dispatcher calls. Very interested to see your further adventures, inventory management. Choose carefully what you want to keep, then sell lower white tier items while disassembling higher tier items for crafting. I recommend that you complete the gift quest ASAP. It's an important step in your progress in net running. I will do that, or did I do that already? The gift. No, I did heroes. I haven't done the gift yet. You have plenty of time to play the game. In fact, there was no time limit. Despite what Vic told you, he should have sold you an indefinite but short lifespan left. Money is easy to overcome if you complete gigs and police scanner jobs and loot diligently. Cracking data terminals is also a source of cash. Decode the third line first and upgrade your cyber deck to increase your abilities. Play on. You should pick up a packet of cat food from a food vendor and hold it in reserve. You'll find out why sooner or later. Cat food, huh? The heck is cat food for? Wayland is a Wayland Boa Boa, another famous Night City merc. So that's interesting because I did say Wayland, like Wayland Yutani, aliens. It's a different Wayland, but it's funny they still said Wayland. I mean, they could have made it any other name in the game, but they made it Wayland. I still think it's an Easter egg. Also, it's not our 2023. The game is based on a TTRPG that was first published in the late 80s. They are following the game's original timeline where we got cybernetics in the 90s. So that's good to know. It is an alternate timeline. Johnny Cage. Johnny what? I was hoping for John Wick. So I've never seen the John Wick movies. Spoilers for me, I guess. And not spoilers, but spoilers for you. Not really a spoiler. I have never seen John Wick, so not seen any of the movies. So for me, I was thinking of Johnny Cage. Mortal Kombat, that's my history. Mortal Kombat. You most likely know, but the original game was Cyberpunk 2013. I did not know that. Followed by 2020. Did not know. Both as pen and paper installments. You are in the alternate timeline to our real universe. And 2027 does a great job in continuing the overall world building. They did a good job, and if you know the full picture, thank you yet for another cool episode. I don't actually, I've never heard of those, so that's all new to me. Side jobs are great for experience and some great and street creds. Cyber psychos and scanner hustles are fantastic for cash and street cred. Don't worry about selling stuff you gather. It's more lucrative to break it all down. There are a multitude of ways to make money that you don't really need to sell anything to make crafting materials instead. The intro news changes too depending on what's going on and sometimes what you did. Good to know. And last video, this is where I helped Misty and Mama Wells, where I helped Mama Wells and Misty's relationship. Yes, I made a funny. Can't believe I did that. I don't know why I said that, but that was my first instinct, so what does that tell you about me? When you were showing your outfit, you didn't actually have the armored vest equipped. Inventory slots are where you equip clothes like vest and outfit and how you look. So I did change that. I've realized now I had messed that up, so I'm going to show that in a video. I did fix that. You can only upgrade iconic weapons. You can also craft weapons. So I haven't looked into crafting weapons, but interesting, I can only upgrade iconic weapons. So I want iconic weapons then so I can upgrade. So what I want to do is I want to find like the perfect type of assault rifle for me and then upgrade on that. Same with the pistol. Although I am upgrading that iconic pistol I have that has fire damage. I actually like that pistol. I'm guessing I got that from pre-order or for DLC, Phantom Liberty or whatever, but I like it. Oh, there's so much to learn in this game, more than any other game that I personally played. Yes, be sure to take your time as it can be overwhelming. So much to do, don't be afraid to ask viewers, and that's why I'm asking y'all, because there is a lot. Remember to sleep and shower in your apartment. It gives you a boost for 1 hour. I need to do that. Next time I play, I'm going to do that. Don't worry too much about calls and texts. Just make sure to read them, call or text back. It can lead to new missions which will be marked on your map. Even if they say it's urgent, you can continue a mission at a later point. Good to know. You can't update non-iconic weapons, but enemies will drop better weapons the higher your level is. Here's something the game doesn't tell you. Play for at least 24 in-game hours and then return to that bar for a little surprise. Okay, I'll do that. Perks, my friend. Perks, my friend, a good hacker will check the hacking perks in intelligence and technical. You always get money from your enemies. That's why I said about dismantling, but there's heaps of hidden gems all over in Night City and Badlands like cyberware, capacity, and perk shards. That's why I said don't rush, take your time and walk around the city and other places. You will be surprised what you can find, because in Act 2, the whole map is yours, so enjoy. Hot coffee for me too, with a little bit of sweet cream. I love sweet cream. Absolutely loving this playthrough. Thank you. On upgrades, you can only upgrade iconic weapons. Regular weapons need to be found in wanted tiers. On mods, there's a difference between attachment and mod. An attachment can be changed at will, put on. A mod becomes permanent. Decide well when modding. I'll keep that in mind. I guess I haven't modded a weapon yet. I have only put attachments on. Maybe. I have to check. Don't get me wrong. I love the cars and have all the best ones, but you'll figure out the best way around the city is motorcycles. So I want to tell you about one car in particular, the fastest car in the game, but you need 40 street cred. But I will say, don't do the Beast in Me missions until you have it. There's going to be heaps happening at the same time, but keep cool, check your messages and clear them. It's less to concentrate on. Remember, ride the bike all over the place because those fast travel points don't show on the map until you find them. I'll do that. The Quadra Sport RV Vigilante car that showed up for you is a bonus DLC for pre-ordering Phantom Liberty. At some point, V would have received an email talking about winning a body count lottery with the car as a prize. I don't love the Vigilante, it's tricky to drive, but better free cars will come along in the game. Upgrading your cyber deck will give you more buffer spaces for cracking data panels. Keep in mind that the third line of the codes rewards you the most. Also, the strings can overlap. Finally, there's a low-level intelligence perk that shortens the code strings, making them easier to decode. Not sure if I got that perk already. I need to check, because I did do a bunch of perks off camera and that I'm going to show you, but I'm not sure if I got that one. I did see it though. Reciting the Hemingway passage at Jackie's Ofrenda says a great deal about the game's theme, it seems to me. Spacing out the story quests with side content is the best way to play the game. They are major fun. Armor is all in your cyberware and the Ripper Dock when you upgrade your cyberware. You should have 3 to pick from when upgrading again. This is why I said dismantle, because then you'll have heaps of components. I will do that. I do this and I still walk NC with millions of eddies literally. You'll see, as I said, money is everywhere. Great video, loving the playthrough, keep up the fun. For upgrading things like the rifle, you can't via yourself, like you can in iconic ones. If you want to upgrade it, then you'll need to find a higher tier version or purchase one at a gun shop. In your inventory, you need to actually equip the items you want to use for armor, which I've now done. I will do the NCP jobs and side gigs and max dock. I need to buy max dock. Don't forget to pick up everything, which I will do. Please stop calling them quests. They are missions. So I will say mission. I use quest because I just played Horizon Forbidden West before all of this, and everything in there is a quest. So I got to get into the mindset of mission. Missions and gigs don't go away. You are under no time limit except for a very few where it would be obviously ridiculous to not go now. Take your time. When a mission says meet at a certain time any day, that would do. Take your time. When a mission says meet at a certain time any day, at that time would do. Okay, good to know. When getting calls, take them. You can do those side missions whenever you like. If you look at the weapons you can't upgrade, they don't say iconic. That's why you can't upgrade them. Prior to the 2.1 or was 2.0 when they made that change, you could upgrade weapons without the iconic, and that was a change I never got. Okay, so that's a change. I can only upgrade iconics. You can only upgrade iconic weapons. For hacking, get the Force Killer Cyber perk in the first row of perks and intelligence. It will help a lot in hacking access points. Also, be sure to upgrade your cyber deck. Although I would suggest getting the Tetratonic Rippler, as it will be more helpful for your current gameplay style. Also, be sure to go back to the El Coyote after a couple of days and check out the Shrine to Jackie. You will be pleasantly surprised. I'm going to do that. All right, so I need to look into the Force Kill Cyber perk. I'm going to have to look at that. So those are all the comments, everyone, that I have got on all of my videos, and that is what's been uploaded so far. As I upload a series of more videos, I will do another follow-up video where I respond to the comments. I will probably cut it a lot shorter than this one. I will just go through certain comments and mention them at that time, because this did take a lot longer than I had intended. So I will do that, shorten it in the next video. But I am now going to go into the game and for like 5 minutes, this is going to be real quick, just show you some of my perk updates I have done and the clothing update as well, putting the right attachments in the right place. So hang on one second, I'm going to go in game. All right, I am now back in the game, and I just am going to go over some off-camera updates. This won't be very long. I don't have a lot to show here. First thing I want to show is I was confused on the difference between wardrobe and what is attached to the body. Thank you for those comments. I did have the vest in the wrong place. I have now properly equipped everything so that the armor-plated Aramid breastplate is attached. This does have a plus 5 armor. The shirt, my hat, my pants, my shoes. Now all of it's attached in the right place, and my outfits are empty. Outfits are empty. So that's one big thing. I've finally got all that figured out. I also now know the difference between attachments and mods, and that this iconic pistol can be upgraded, but the reason why this cannot be upgraded is because it is not an iconic weapon, and that means this also is not going to be upgradable as well. So I am going to be on the lookout then for iconic assault rifle and precision rifle and other items. I'm going to disassemble the regular stuff and keep the iconic stuff, because now I know that difference. And then attachments. So obviously I can put attachments on here. I'm not going to put a muzzle on the assault rifle, but yes, I've got the attachments here, and I have to keep in mind that these are attachments, not mods. Mods, do I know where to pick up mods on weapons, or how to mod weapons? I might not know how to do that yet. So mods is what I need to figure out. Like upgrades I got, but I think the next thing I've got to figure out is how to mod a weapon, but a mod is permanent. I learned that. A mod is permanent, so when I do mod a weapon, I need to make sure that's the mod I want on it. I just don't know how to do it. This iconic weapon, I'm probably going to keep on my character forever. So this is one that I would be able to mod, but certain weapons can have mods and certain weapons cannot have mods. This one obviously can't have attachments, but can it have a mod? Maybe. So I don't know how to do mods. So that's the only thing I don't know how to do yet. But I do know how to do attachments. And I do know I need to be careful when I do figure out mods to put a mod on something and it's going to be permanent. I know that now. So yeah, my clothing, my weapons, I'm figuring out how that works. As for my character stats, so I am figuring out obviously how the attribute points work and how perk points work and all of that. So I am level 10 right now. I only got 5 street cred. That's one thing I need to work on. Eddies are here. Right now I've got 7, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 7. So I need to work on, just getting those up. I'm probably going to get everything, like that one poster said. I'm going to get everything to like 20, and then the rest in like cool or something like that, or a lot in cool, because that helps my proficiency with precision rifles, sniper rifles, handguns, throwable weapons, and other things, and also street smart dialogue choices and a crit damage per attribute point. So yeah, I know I'm gonna work on that kind of stuff. So I obviously cannot upgrade anything here yet. I got to go to a Ripper dock for that, so I'm aware of that. Let me find where my upgrades are. Where are my upgrades now? I'm here. Yeah, my check tree. All right, so let's go over what I have put on here in terms of perk points. I have 4 perk points left. I have spent some. So in body, I just have the one enabled right now, which is unlock slow health regen in combat. I might do comeback kid, so that's a health regen rate for each % of missing health. I'm not sure. Health while sprinting. Yeah, I've been looking at these. So I know kind of where I can go there. I'm not at the next tier yet, but I was looking at like what I want to upgrade. So I'm going to work on that when I get there. Let me go through the rest. I did enable slippery. The faster you move, the more difficult for enemies to shoot you. Effect increases when dashing, dodging, sliding, and all that. I thought that was beneficial. That's reload while sprinting. So there's that stuff. So yeah, this is all reflexes. Technical ability. I did do Glutton for War. That is a 5% instant recharge of health items and grenades after neutralizing an enemy. I need to... I did look at all these, but it's just hard to remember where they all go. So I'll work on this stuff. There was one cyberware that... Not cyberware. One ability somebody had mentioned to get. So I need to look for that now and figure out where it's at. But yeah, I will look at this further when I go. I just kind of want to show you what I've enabled so far. I've enabled that. Under cool, I have not enabled anything yet. I do have a perk point. I wasn't sure. I'm not really using knives, axes, and silenced guns. When crouched, you can move faster. Yeah, so I'm not really sure where I'm going to put all these into yet, but I'll work on it. I'm just not sure where I'm going to go. Intelligence, maybe it was under intelligence was that one. So I did do Eye in the Sky. Automatically highlights nearby access points and cameras. When uploading through cameras, control quick hacks, covert quick hacks, and the distract enemies quick hack have less RAM cost and duration. I thought that was cool, so I'm hoping this will show me more access points, maybe, or at least highlight them for me so I know they're there. Thought that might be cool. I also enabled this one, which is a RAM recovery rate for optimization. I'm probably going to do a lot in intelligence because there is actually a lot of good stuff here. I do want to reduce force kill cipher. This is the one. Reduces sequence length required to hack access points by 1. Let's do it. I'm going to go ahead and do it. That is important. All right, there we go. Enabled. And yeah, I will look at this one I kind of like too, a reduction in traceability for the quick hacks. I like that. But I might do a lot of hacking in terms of access point hacking. So I think I might actually put a lot in the intelligence stuff. Also, so one of these had points that, or a tree that would help toward assault rifles. I forgot which one it's in. This is shotguns, LMGs, HMGs. One of these had for helping assault rifles. Assault rifles and SMGs. Here we go. And I'm going to be using an assault rifle a lot. So yeah, right here under reflexes, this is where a tree I want to go up on because it's going to help my assault rifle stuff. So I'm probably under reflexes going to go up this side of the tree. So yeah, that's what I was looking at, and that's what I've enabled now for the next video. But that's where I'm at. And that's pretty much all the changes since the last one. That's all the changes right there. So I am ready to get into the next video, which we'll do, well, in the next video, the actual gameplay video. And when I start that video, I will make sure to sleep in my bed, and I will make sure to take a shower for bonus points. So I will do that at the start of the next video. But that's going to be it. I hope you all enjoyed this unique viewer feedback video. And again, thank you so much for all your feedback and comments. I am enjoying it. I am getting a lot. And if it wasn't for all of that, I would be lost. I would be lost. There's a lot to learn here. But thank you for leaving your lengthy comments. I read them all. I enjoy them. So thank you so much for that. All right. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next one.